dos, tres. Probando. And I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
It's been a long week with
Hmm.
uh, a lot of issues, and I'm glad to be in front of a ball game.
Yeah, that's always a nice end to the week.
Yes, especially because right now, oh boy, between the bugs that have been going around, it's very iffy. So happy to be here, excited for this ball game because we've got two great teams that make their living in very different ways. And both teams are leading their divisions, and we're going to be playing in a very weird ballpark. So this is exciting. We should see some excellent baseball today, although I am noticing here that we might have to make some changes. Let's see here.
Hmm.
Let's see. So the big thing is for those of you who maybe aren't following the Navegadores as closely as you might imagine, is that our resurgent center fielder and the guy that we were hoping was going to be our leadoff hitter tonight, Graham Underwood, is unfortunately out with a strained rib cage and he's not enjoying himself so much. So
Yeah.
he wants to sit out today. He's day to day. He'll go up to Burford and say, "Hey, I feel like I can play today. I feel like today I can't." So unfortunately, it looks like he is out for the day. Uh, that said, there's not much we can do about that in terms of rejiggering the lineup. There's maybe some things that open themselves up down the line, but watch for some bench bats to happen. Anyway,
Nice.
on our right in black and I don't know, what would you call that blue?
Uh, Denim blue, perhaps?
Sure, sure. I think officially they are black, navy, and gold. Are the terms that they use. There might be an interesting term for the blue that I can't remember right now, but is the Güiristas, the Guido makers, the Peñuelas, a town on the south of the island of Puerto Rico. The Guido is an instrument, a musical instrument, very typical of Boricua culture, very used, and it's made out of a hollowed out and dried gourd, often played with a pick. I have played a Guido. It has a very scratchy noise. I really don't know what else you can say about it.
I keep trying to think of songs I've heard them in, and I'm sure I have, but because it's percussion, you don't really notice it as much.
You would have to be listening to Puerto Rican music. I mean, I know that there are similar instruments, pardon me, in other Caribbean cultures and so on. But yeah, you would have to be playing probably Puerto Rican music and be paying close attention to it. But once you know what it sounds like, it is unmistakable and it becomes something you can't unhear. Uh, hello, Will, who says any updates on the important LNP news from today, i.e., the commissioner's
Oh, yes.
state visit to the salon.
Hmm.
He is doing very well. He is currently sleeping off all of the excitement. A few feet to my left, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, the commissioner is my dog.
Best commissioner in baseball.
Yeah, best commissioner I would say in professional sports. Not
Yes.
that that's a high bar to clear, but I think we can all agree that that is true. At any rate, today is also a bit of a special broadcast because due to this half-hour delay, we are going to be running today in one pitch mode. We don't usually do that, but if this means that we end up netting 35 viewers for most of the broadcast, then maybe it's something that we'll consider doing again in the future. If we get through this first game relatively quickly, Louisa and I feel slightly differently about this. I do not like to set up my computer and then only get through, 40, 50 minutes of a game because I do this once a week. And so it's kind of, if I'm going to do all this rigmarole, I want to get my effort's worth out of it, I suppose. So
Mhm.
what we'll do is the compromise that we reached, and I think it's a fair one, is that if we get through the first game relatively quickly, we will go on and present the second game of the series. When I record these games, it takes about 45 to 50 minutes to get through one, so that should still get you out in about the amount of time that one full game would have happened. So hopefully it's two games for the time of one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the first game ends up going, 17 innings or something like that, or there's a bunch of pitching changes or whatever, then obviously we're not going to do that and we'll call it a night at one. There is a slight possibility that if, we finish the first game and it hit kind of the hour mark and so on, maybe I will solo the second game and do it to an audience of zero because we all know what you're here for and it's the ad reads.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but we're gonna try to test out a number of things during this. We've got a segment that we're reviving. We've done it in the past, but it's been a while. We'll play it by ear and see how it goes, and then hopefully next week we'll have another weird game from the minors or something like that. There's still a special prospect we haven't seen play, and it would be really nice to get to catch that. So, without further ado, let's get down to the field. Okay, good. Let's turn off rather pitch by pitch mode. And you can see here, we are in a very weird field. Let
Ooh,
me see if
we
I can
are.
change the cameras a little bit so you can see it.
I see some trees back there to the left and right.
Yes, so as you can see, the wall is very beveled, perhaps.
Hmm.
It's got a lot of little nooks and crannies, and of course the fence is black with that navy top that would never fly in a modern ballpark. That would never happen. But this is the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, and we can do whatever the hell we want.
Hmm.
And you may notice this, but the lines to left and short, if we were to look at the first base stands and then the third base stands, you can see they are incredibly short. So
Oh,
if those if you can hit one, if you can hit it over the line, it's pretty much gone. It will not be hard to
oh.
do that. So this could get interesting because the Navegadores do have a couple of guys who hit dingers. They've got Salmeron and Bog sitting at number 4 and number 5 in the order. But then the Güiristas have Tomás Guía, who has hit 9, Bob Moulds, who's hit 18, and no one else.
Whoa.
So today, the ball might be flying all over the place. We're not going to know what's going to happen. The only thing we can tell you is that Gustavo Dávalos is a lefty, the guy starting for the Güiristas. He's a very good pitcher, but he doesn't tend to strike a ton of guys out. That could change, of course, against the Navegadores. But what you also should know is that the Naves crush lefties. They grind
Hmm.
them to dust, despite being mostly made up of lefties. Still not sure how that works.
They can get inside their heads. They know how they operate.
Exactly, yes. They have access to the Southpaw hive mind.
Hmm.
So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. We're going to present this game. We're hoping that it'll be a ton of fun for you and for us. That it'll be quick and hopefully have a lot of excitement. So now that we've established that, before we get moving here, read out the lineups, have our first pitch, etc., 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 we of course need a word from the most beautiful of our sponsors. Louisa, who is this?
This is the respected and venerable Dr. Gonzalez and his wonderful wood tar liquor. Folks, 70,000 patients have been cured over 15 years with it. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, all cured. It helps with consumption and also with bladder catarrh, which is inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And it's sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guilhermetti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very much, Louisa. Just delivering some important commentary to the chat room on the subject of the Dr. Gonzalez's Woodtar liquor commercial.
It's important.
We've been reading this commercial for 4 years, and I think we still have no idea what his first name is.
That's true. Well, he's a professional man. We don't need to know his first name.
That's right. His first name, as far as we're concerned, is Doctor.
Yes.
Anyway, it is now time to read the lineups for our two teams today. This is a baseball game on June 22nd, 1906. Puerto Rico has been free now for 35 years of Spanish, USian, or any other influence. It is 5 years since the official peace treaty ended the Caribbean invasion by the United States. It is 3 years since Puerto Rico became a charter member of the Caribbean Confederation. And today, for the Navegadores de Naguabo, our visiting team, the starting lineup includes, leading off and playing first base, number 16, Rob Feaster.
The Grackle.
Batting second and playing right field, number 56, Frank Del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Put a pin in that. We'll get back to that later.
Oh.
Batting third and playing left field, number 37, Vidal Santiago.
The Barber.
Batting fourth and catching, number 17, Pablo Salmeron.
Rudy Young.
Batting fifth and playing third base, number 12, Wally Bach.
The Human Ripcord.
Batting sixth and playing second base, number 4, Etaoin Sherdlu.
The Font of Wisdom. I see he's gone down in the lineup.
Yes, indeed. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 6, Benigno Valdez.
Benji.
Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 20, Kieran Anderson, whom...
Ooh, I don't know his name. Does he have one?
I don't know that he has a nickname. Yeah, he's new this year, so he hasn't developed a real routine yet. And batting ninth and playing center field as an injury replacement for Ham Underwood, number 13, Felix Bucar. Do you remember his nickname?
No, I don't. I know I've seen his name before.
His nickname is La Solución.
Oh,
the answer.
Yes, of course.
Because he can play all 3 outfield positions and most of the infield as well.
Nice.
Pitching for the Navegadores tonight, number 3, Everton Stack. And now the starting lineup for your Güiristas de Peñuelas. Leading off and playing second base, number 28, Francisco Mejia. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 27, Mauro Alcantara. Batting third and playing first base, number 34, Tomás Guía. Batting fourth and playing right field, number 24, Ernesto Hernandez. Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to him later. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 1, Bob Moulds. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 13, Joaquin Magaña. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 21, Luis Bautista. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 17, Brendan John. And batting ninth and catching, number 14, Catulo Hernandez. Pitching for the Güiristas de Peñuelas tonight, number 7, Gustavo Dávalos. A big lefty with a bit of speed behind his 3 fastball setup. He's got a fastball, a sinker, and a cutter. No real breaking ball to speak of, which is probably responsible for some of his struggles on the mound. And I told you to put a pin in 2 of these guys. Let's get back to them in inverse order of importance. First of all, that man would appear to be wearing my makeup.
Maybe it's just his natural glow.
Maybe. But maybe this is how he tricks runners into trying to advance a base and throws them out, pretending he's in a box.
He's got dazzle camouflage on.
Damn. And on the other side of things, in case you're wondering whether Spotify listens to you and makes algorithmic decisions, based on what you say near it, I would like to inform you that my Discover Weekly this week did in fact include a track named Diablo Rojo.
Ooh, amazing.
Unfortunately, I haven't made it that far into my Discover Weekly this week because I've been sick, so I have no idea whether the track's any good. Anyway, here goes nothing. Rob Feaster currently OPSing 628, no home runs, 12 runs batted in, but leading the league with, you guessed it, 69 stolen bases.
Nice.
And we're in game 69, so, extra special
Nice.
for everyone. It's the funny number.
We love the funny number, don't we, folks?
Yes, that's right. We sure do. We're very mature. Gustavo Davalos, 158 innings on the year, 13 wins, 6 losses, an ERA of 1.88, 67 strikeouts, 244 walks. Quick weather check. Cloudy with rain in the forecast. Temperature is 25 degrees. Wind is blowing out to center. So that ought to make things interesting out here as we begin. And looks like we are immediately going to be playing host to some of Rob Feaster's BS, as this is going to a full count. Naguabo comes in with a 5-game win streak.
A full count on the first... What? Huh?
On the first at bat. It's one pitch mode.
What? Amazing.
Davalos is currently 5th in wins in Betances with 13, 1.18 whip, and Feaster walks.
Oh, I like that Peñuelas font.
Say again?
I like that Peñuelas font.
Good arm behind the plate, and Davalos is a pretty good holder, so I think we all know what we're going to see on the very next pitch. But here comes Frank de Castillo, OPS of 726, a home run, which he hit fairly recently, and 35 runs batted in. A very hot bat, which is why, of course, they will fail to take advantage of that. Hey, I just discovered a huge advantage of one pitch mode. We get to dunk on our own team more.
Yeah, it's true.
Here goes nothing. First pitch. And what did I tell you? He will be laid out by a mile. Feaster
Wow.
has suddenly had some real trouble. Hernandez has done very well for himself, cutting down about 64% of base stealers. That was an insane thing to do.
Yeah, it really was.
2 pitches later, let's see what Frank does to try and remedy this circumstance. Hits that one into left field. It is not going to make it over that high wall, which I don't know if you've noticed. That's taller than what we're used to.
Yeah, much taller.
Yep.
Almost as tall as, like, twice the height of the players. That's wild.
Yep, Brendan John making a running catch out there. But yes, the wall is on average about 4.3 meters. So it's quite the stoppage. You have to arc the home runs over it. Vidal Santiago comes up next. OPS of 671, 1 home run, 35 runs batted in. He comes up with 2 outs and the bases empty, thanks to Feaster's badly advised steal. And on a hitter's count, Vidal also walks. The Barber also walks. That's my least favorite Hemingway novel.
It does sound like something you would write, though, doesn't it?
Very true. Davalos issues his second walk of the game already, and he will face Pablo Salmeron, who is currently OPSing 800. He leads the club in OPS, in runs batted in on-base percentage, in average. Pardon me, not in runs batted in home runs. Runs batted in, actually. Wait, no, he does now. Actually, it was Frank de Castillo a few days ago. And intentional walks. So let's see what Davalos does against him with a man on first and 2 outs. This is about the ideal situation to be facing Pablo. He really wilts under this kind of pressure.
Maybe he'll surprise you.
Maybe. But I don't think he's going to. 1-2 count. And he hits that one. Oh! That is a hell of a play from Francisco Mejia. Nice grab there. And despite the 2 walks, there are no runs. Thanks to, again, an ill-advised steal from Feaster that really put him in danger there. And Mejia's excellent defensive play there.
Ugh.
So, we head to the bottom of... Mm-hmm.
It's a shame I have to talk up Salmeron to you when he's your guy, but I'm always the one having to defend him.
I, unfortunately, am too used to him coming up in situations that he should bring in the run and have watched him fail to do so.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Everton Stack will get his first throws in here. Now he's having another hell of a season. He's 11-4 over 146 innings. He's at an ERA of 1.05, 136 strikeouts to 23 walks. For reference, Davalos, his opposing pitcher tonight, has what were his numbers again? 67 and 44, respectively. So he's doing quite well. Everton Stack has a fastball, curveball, sinker, and splitter. Does equally well against righties and lefties, really. And he has so far he is currently the angriest anyone has ever been at their manager, because he could have 2 more shutouts on the line in this very season, but he was taken out in the 9th inning of both.
What?
Because he hit the pitch count.
Insane. You can't just play by the numbers, manager.
Yeah, Burford has been... That authority has been removed from Burford.
Good.
Here comes Francisco Mejia, OPSing .490 with no home runs and 25 runs batted in. He'll come up to lead off here. Stack's second in ERA at 1.05. Mejia on the 2-1 count. Immediately bloops a base hit past Valdez at short. So there will be a man aboard with no outs for the Güiristas. Mejia is held to a single, and here comes Alcantara. OPS of 704, no home runs, 24 runs batted in. A fastball low that Mejia slashed over the infield there. Let's see if Stack can get back to this. On that first pitch, rinse and repeat. Mejia takes off for second, and Salmeron nails him at second base. Salmeron is currently sitting on a 75% caught stealing rate, as he's thrown out 12 of 16. That makes it the base is empty with 1 out. Alcantara on the 1-2 count. He rolls that one to second. Shirley hasn't, makes the throw to first, and that's out number 2. And here comes Tomás Guía, the first dangerous bat here. OPS of 725. 9 home runs and 36 runs batted in, which is second on his ball club, but would lead the Navegadores. Stack can run into dinger trouble, so he's got to be careful here. 2 outs and the base is empty. Can he get Guía out? Guía sitting on a .330 on base percentage, and Stack gets him swinging. That split finger fastball hums by him, and the side is retired. They'll get a hit, and that's it. Here in the bottom of the first. 3 pitches. Damn, what a sit down.
Yeah, really.
All right, here we go. We go today. Our prediction is going to be very, very simple. We're going to keep it easy breezy. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. Oh dear. Hmm? Sorry, what? The display here for making this prediction is cutting off the sides of it very heavily.
Okay.
So we're just going to issue the... we're going to ask our viewers to predict who's going to win tonight. Is it going to be the Güiristas or the Navegadores? Easy peasy. All right, here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. And here goes nothing. Gustavo Davalos got through that first inning despite allowing 2 walks on 19 pitches. He will now face Bach, Shirley, and Valdez. Bach is sitting on a .665 OPS, 4 homers, second to Salmeron, and 23 runs batted in. Here goes nothing. The 1-2 count. Valdez rolls that one right back to the pitcher. Davalos has it, makes the throw, and that's out number 1. A decent enough at bat, considering he was on a 2-strike count. He at least got to 5 pitches. Here comes Shirley, .678 OPS, 1 home run, 23 runs batted in. He's batting .229 in June. Bases empty and 1 out for him. And on a 1-1 count, knocks that one to Mejia. He's got all the time in the world to get there, make that throw. It's high, but Guía is able to pick it, and that's out number 2. Benji Valdez comes up, and this is... You mentioned that Shirley had gone down in the batting order, but what mystifies me is that Benji is batting 7th for this ball club.
Yeah, I didn't want to keep bringing it up, but the whole batting order seems out of order. Out of order. Mm-hmm. Or out of order. This whole batting line is out of order.
There we go. Valdez is currently OPSing 720, no home runs, 32 runs batted in, and may be in line to win his 4th Ilustrísimo, possibly.
Nice.
Though it is very likely that the sports writers will rebel if they have to fill his name in 4 years in a row. 2 outs and the base is empty, and he will take Dávalos to a full count here. Hits that one high and deep, but that is going to die at the right field wall as it didn't quite enough have the height. And Hernandez will get it there. So the side is retired. The Navegadores go down in order. Not even walks this time to help them out and extend the inning a little bit. And it's Stack back to work against Hernandez, Moulds, and Magaña. That's a heavy crew to have as your core of the order. And Hernandez, at an OPS of 696, no home runs, 18 runs batted in. Tough customer. Stack got through our first inning on a whole lot of number ones. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 11 pitches. Hernandez. Looks like we're going to see some first pitch action here. And it's rocketed. Oh, Feaster drops it.
Oh, man. Rob, it's gone today.
It was hard hit, but that puts you in immediate trouble as it now opens the possibility for a Bob Moulds multi-run shot. And, boy, he is currently comfortably leading the entire Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña with 18 homers on the year, 41 runs batted in, and an 819 OPS. So, everybody, hold on to your butts on the 1-1 count.
Would you say when they made Bob, they broke the mold?
Hernandez is unable, or rather, Hernandez is perfectly able to evade Salmeron's throw. That's his 10th steal of the season. So that'll put a man in scoring position for Bob Moulds with this 2-1 count. Yes, I would say that Bob Moulds is, in fact, a man for all seasons. Loves him and leaves him alone. So alone.
Nice.
And on the 2-2 count, Bob Moulds grounds out to Rob Feaster, and he actually does hold on to the damn ball this time and bring it back to first base. Hernandez makes it the 3rd with 1 out, and time to see what you can do against Joaquin Magaña, who is currently OPSing 635, no home runs, 25 runs batted in. Can he bring in the first run of the game from 3rd? 0-1 count. And yes, he can, as that makes it through Rob Feaster. And the Güiristas take the early lead here. They draw first blood off a Stack, an unearned run, but a run nonetheless. So with 1 out and a man on first, a low fastball there. The Magaña hit past the infield. Here comes Luis Bautista. OPS 661, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. Doesn't look like he's had a whole lot of action in this year. 1-1 count. There's an attempt at a sac bunt. Stack fields it, throws to first, and looks like they got him. It'll be a successful sacrifice hit for him. Magaña makes it to second, and Brendan John, the last of the big bats here, comes up. Jamaican on Jamaican duel here. Brendan John, OPS of 569, no home runs, and 11 runs batted in. 2 outs and a man on second. On the 2-1 count, John hits that one into the air. It falls. Vidal Santiago gets it on the bounce. He's going to have to make that throw, and it's going to be not nearly in time. The Güiristas on the Brendan John RBI single increase their lead. It is now 2-0.
Wow.
Stack has got to be fuming at his own cold corner, man, because that error has so far led to 2 runs and extended this inning way past when it should have been over. Now it'll be Catulo Hernandez with an OPS of 509, no home runs, 14 runs batted in coming up. Can Stack finish this inning here? 1-0 count. Hernandez grounds out to short. Valdez has it, throws to second on the sidearm, and the inning is over. The Güiristas score 2 runs and take the lead. We're through 2 innings, and they are poised to win. Where's your confidence level now?
Not great, but I have 100 pelotas on this game, so I am determined that the Navegadores will win.
I hope they do so for your sake. Gustavo Davalos, 33 pitches over 2 innings, 2 walks, and he will face Kieran Anderson, Felix Bucar, and Rob Feaster. Anderson has had a tough introduction to the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, OPS of 491, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. Let's see what he can do here. The current holder of the Scottish seed, he, of course, replaces Declan Milne, who's off doing whatever in the Rincon. And Kieran Anderson with a base hit, swinging after that first pitch, dumps it into center on a blooper, a sinker out of the zone that he lanced over there. Well done, and there goes the no-hitter.
Yeah, that was positioned really well.
Yep. Anderson's still wearing the red shoes, like he thinks he's going to be sent down any day now.
He's just a fan of David Duchovny.
And we go on to Felix Bucar, who's been decent. I mean, an OPS of 502, nothing to write home about, but, you know, that's what you expect out of your backups. And with 5 runs batted in, he may at least be able to do the job here with no outs and a man on first. 3-1 count to him. Knocks down to third base. It's knocked down, but not proper throw from Bob Moulds there. He tries to make a good throw. It goes into the outfield. That's his 33rd error at third base. We're not even halfway through the season.
Wow. So he's a guy who only has a job because he's great at hitting, huh?
I mean, he is a genuinely... I'm not going to say he's an excellent third baseman, but he's not bad. Oh, God.
Sounds like
Why is he this bad?
Negative. What?
How is that possible? That is, so zone rating. You might find this interesting or you might not. We'll find out.
That could be anything. That's great. I love
exactly,
that.
yes. Zone rating is basically how many runs a team saves by having this player at that spot than regular old average defender. So in other words, Bob Moulds has cost this team 7 runs, is what we're learning here.
But he's hit them. What was it, 18, 16? So I guess they've decided that that's worth it? Worth the trade-off?
I guess so.
You think they'd try him in a different position at least. He could hardly be worse.
Yeah, seriously, put him in designated hitter or something. That's what most Canadians end up doing. By the way, in case you didn't see it, Will says, I bet against you, Louisa, just to be contrarian. We would expect nothing less.
Yeah, let's see what happens, Will.
All right, here we go. Top of the third, 2-on with no outs, and here comes Rob Feaster to do something. He drew a walk last time he came up. 3-1 count. Feaster has been 7 for 47 with runners in scoring position, and here he knocks this one down and fair. It rolls all the way to the corner. That's going to be down for extra bases.
Oh, man.
And, do we want to round... Yeah, of course we want him to round third base. Are you kidding me? 1 run will score, and Bucar is right behind it. That throw is coming out of the grass, question mark. That's a big, big throw, and it's nowhere near in time. Rob Feaster has a 2 RBI double, and this game is tied.
Aha, I'm feeling more confident now, I'll tell you that.
Beautifully painted on the line there by Rob Feaster. He got very lucky. Ernesto Hernandez had to go chase that one down. So far back, apparently. I don't even know how that's legal. I don't even know how you do not simply declare the play dead at that point, but there you have it. And that throw from Hernandez, I guess because he was in the middle of a bunch of plant matter, got stuck.
Climbed up that tree.
Exactly. It's like trying to play baseball against poison ivy.
Mm-hmm.
So Naguabo ties it up on that one. A double that Feaster stretched into a triple on good base running. And that's why you don't throw high fastballs against Rob Feaster. Let's see what Frank de Castillo can do if he can bring in that go-ahead run from third, as Davalos is now at 44 pitches. Frank de Castillo 0 for 1 this game as he lifts that one into center field, and that is going to drop in front of Bautista. Feaster runs home easily, and the Navegadores have taken the lead. Frank de Castillo, RBI single. It's a 3-2 ball game now. Beautifully done by Diablo Rojo. taking advantage of that big center field there to just dump that one in front of Bautista, who was not prepared for it. And Naguabo takes the lead on that. Beautiful uniforms, though. Gorgeous.
Yeah, those pinstripes. Lovely.
Exactly. Vidal Santiago drew a walk back in the first inning. He faces Davalos with a man on and still no outs. 1-2 count for him. And he strikes out on the high cutter there. Santiago couldn't hold up on it, and he's gone. First strikeout of the night for Gustavo Davalos, who will now face Pablo Salmeron with a man on and 1 out. And since you feel that I am far too down on my special prospect, I will take this opportunity to say I feel slightly more confident in this circumstance.
Good. Let's see.
Ooh, first pitch action once again. Is that going to be a steal? Nope. It's going to be grounded past the infield. That's going to be, whoa, Frank de Castillo breaking for third base. Is he out? No, it looks like he's safe. He beats it. Salmeron will stretch that single to second base. And we've got 2 men on in scoring position with 1 out. Salmeron gets the job done there, uncharacteristically, with a roller along the ground.
Wow.
That was not an easy beating the throw. He made it there just about when the ball did.
Yeah.
All right. Wally Balk comes up next. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Can he keep the storm moving? 3-1 count for him. Davalos has had bad luck on these, and he has it more of it here. The bases are loaded as he issues a 5-pitch walk to Wally Balk. He's at 55 pitches here, with only 1 out in the 3rd inning. And here comes Shirley, who's 0 for 1. He's got a history of coming up big in moments like this. Let's see what happens. 1-0 count. Shirley rockets that one. It gets to Mejia. That's going to score a run. The Navegadores will be up 4-2 after that fielder's choice.
I'm going to get my money back. Hooray!
Salmeron takes 3rd. Shirley on 1st. And here comes Benji, who is also 0 for 1. He's hitting just 207 in June. And Davalos here on 57 pitches with runners on the corners and 2 outs. On the one hand, all he needs is to retire this guy. On the other, that guy is Benji Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens. 1-0 count here. He flew out to deep right last time.
He has quite the grimace in his portrait lately.
Yeah, and that might be why. As he pops up over the infield, Moulds has it, and this time he holds on to the ball.
Oof.
Moulds holds, and Naguabo ends up sending 9 men to the plate here in the top of the 3rd. 4 of them score, and they now lead Peñuelas. Stack.
Should we have a word? Oh.
Not yet. Yeah, I know.
I see.
Normally we play at La Timonera, but we are the road team this time around. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which seems to be good for them.
Here's open. Bottom of the 3rd, Everton's Stack is through 2 innings on 28 pitches, 3 hits, 1 strikeout. He will face the top of the lineup, starting with Francisco Mejia, who is 1 for 1. Stack, no earned runs yet on his record for the day. Both of those runs were on an error, and Mejia gets hit the better of him again. He was 1 for 1. He's 2 for 2 now. Both hits, little bouncers up the middle that they are failing to defend. Here comes Alcantara, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Can they, once again, stop Mejia from moving? Oh, interesting. They go for a bunt here, and Balk has it. Did it make it over there? Yes! Alcantara is retired. His 6th sacrifice hit. Mejia makes it to 2nd, and here comes Tomás Guía, who is 0 for 1. Danger, danger. If they can't retire him, or worse, if he makes it out of the park here. 1-0 count. As Mejia steals 3rd without even a throw from Salmeron here, as he can't find the handle on the ball here. That's Mejia's 24th steal, and the Güiristas are well poised to make it a 1-run game. 2-2 count, and Guía strikes out. 2nd strikeout for Everton Stack. This one on a fastball inside that Guía apparently thought was going to be out of the zone, but it wasn't. Here comes Ernesto Hernandez, who's 0 for 1. Stack might be able to get out of this one yet. 2 outs and a man on 3rd. 2-2 count. He reached last time on an error, of course. This time he hits that into center field. That's going to score the first earned run of the game for Everton Stack, and it's 4-3 Navegadores.
Oh boy.
Well, we haven't seen the dingers we thought we'd see, but what we have seen is plenty of runs getting scored.
Yeah, this is a nice surprise.
Yeah, that lands in no man's land out there, and the Navegadores remain in front, but for how long, as once again Bob Moulds is up to bat. 2 outs, man on first this time. 2-2 count. Moulds lances that one into right field. It lands against the wall. Frank de Castillo has to play it, and that might tie the game once again. As Moulds is off and running. Yes! This game is tied. Hernandez is able to make it all the way to the plate on that one, and Moulds slides into second with an RBI double.
This is unthinkable.
Beautiful work from Bob Moulds at the plate there. Hitting and moving out of the way immediately. Frank de Castillo, and this is a beautiful camera angle, having to make a very late throw, and Hernandez just takes off running. Stack now allows 2 earned runs, or in fact any earned runs for the first time since June 10th when he got lit up for 4 runs. So hopefully that won't be the case this time.
What we just saw, he barely, the ball was barely beaten to the plate by the runner. If they had beat him to the plate, if a fraction of a second, if it had arrived there earlier, that would have ended the inning, right? Because then the run wouldn't have scored. Wow, okay. Wow.
So you know what that means, right?
What's that?
That means you get to hate Frank de Castillo, which is, I know, your favorite thing to do.
I do not hate him. He just seems to fumble the ball every single time we see him. Yes.
Caught the last 2 outs of the 1904 Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. Not for nothing. Anyway, here comes Joaquin Magaña, who is 1 for 1 with a ribby. 1-2 count. And Magaña puts that one into the air. This time Vidal Santiago going after it, and he's got it to end the inning. A little bit too late there. We are through 3. The Güiristas tie the game once again. This time not on errors, and they strand a runner. So it's, as we head into the mid-game, 4-4. Let's see who pulls ahead then. But before we do that, we of course need to have a word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Louisa, the booth is all yours.
Thank you. This is just a note to the landowners of the island. Having made arrangements to supply landowners with the necessary apparatus to allow them to use my system for the cleaning, purifying, and whitening of cane juice, cane syrup, and sugar product when it is in liquid or semi-liquid form, I am taking the liberty to inform you that I am now available to fulfill your orders, and for the convenience of whoever may need it, the trading house of Senors B. Boras and Brothers of this capital have agreed to serve as my agents on the island with full powers to act in my name in any affairs connected with my procedure for the manufacture of sugar in the following towns. Get ready to write down the names. So you're like, oh, they're coming to my town, hooray! Bayamon, Dorado, Torbaja, Toalta, Vega Baja, Vega Alta, Manatí, Arecibo, Rio Pedras, Carolina, Loíza, Caguas, Juncos, Gorabo, Fajardo, Naguabo, Humacao, and Jabacoa. So if you live in one of those towns, you know to get in contact with the B. Boras and Brothers. And they will help you something about your sugar. Clean your sugar. That's what it is. A system for cleaning sugar.
Yep. No more of that, no more of that dark brown, extra molassesy sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's clearly what the world needs. More white sugar.
You need to be able to sell it to people making wedding cakes. I know that was a big deal to buy white sugar to make your wedding cake
That's right.
at the time, at the turn of the century.
We're just gonna let everybody know this is what the score. This is an exciting ball game.
It is. I'm amazed that they pulled so far ahead and that they were caught up with. I don't know what's going to happen now.
Yeah, exactly. I I would like to say that based on what we know of these two teams and these two pitchers, if one of them is going to blink first, it is going to be Davalos. But Stack has been having a tough June lately. And
Okay.
so anything could really happen here, not even more than usual. Like, yes, it's baseball. We always have to enter with that proviso in there. But it's pretty ridiculous how much both of these pitchers are basically in a fight to see who can pull it together faster, basically.
Yes. Putting down the tracks as they're already riding on the train.
Yeah. Do I have it right that these teams have combined 10 hits and 2 errors? So it's been a profoundly exciting start.
Mm-hmm.
Come in, won't you? Join us, won't you? That's better. All right, and we're gonna let the All Pro people know. Where is it? Aha. We're just putting it up for everybody on our various socials that they should join and watch this because this is shaping up to be another ridiculous LMP game.
Mm-hmm. As usual.
It's pretty funny
Stack.
how consistently absurd they turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all we needed to do. Setting our Blue Sky account back to the LP account. And here goes nothing. We're in the top of the fourth. Davalos, over 3 innings, 59 pitches, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Will face Anderson, Buchar, and Feaster, who got the rally started in the previous inning. Anderson is 1 for 1 on the day. Can he repeat that success? 1-2 count against Davalos. He hits that one right to Mejia, who turns, makes the throw, and that's out number 1. That's more what we expect from a rookie just coming out of the minor leagues there. Anderson's really there, so that Salmeron can be a designated hitter more often. Unfortunately, Salmeron is catching today because Spike's stone hand is also tired. Felix Buchar is 0 for 1 on the day. He comes up with an out, and the base is empty. And on the 0-2 count, what does he do? He strikes out looking on a fastball, a 3-pitch, all fastball strikeout, 2 outs and the base is empty. And so far, this is not the response we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Here comes Rob Feaster, who's 1 for 1 with 2 runs batted in. Can he at least extend the inning? Give Davalos something to worry about. 1-2 count. And Feaster also strikes out. That is Davalos' 3rd strikeout of the game, 2 of which came in this inning. The Navegadores go down in order once again, and the game remains tied. And now Stack, who seems to be flagging a little bit today, has to face Bautista, John, and Hernandez, who were not kind to him last time they came up. Bautista last time had a sack hit, and by the way, while we're at it, Everton Stack, 3 innings, 52 pitches, 6 hits, 2 runs, and 2 strikeouts. Bautista going after the first pitch, it looks like, and spears that one into the ground. Sherlew has it, gathers it up, throws to Feaster. On the 1 hop, he catches it, and that's out number 1. Here comes Brendan John. He's 1 for 1 with a ribby, as he brought one in last time. 1 out, bases empty for him. Stack would love a short inning here, and on the 2-2 count, John sends that one into left field. Vidal Santiago is going awfully slowly after it, so he'd better have it, and he does. That's out number 2. And here comes Catulo Hernandez, the catcher who ended the last inning after Peñuelas had already done the damage it needed to do. He's 0 for 1. On the 0-1 count, what does Hernandez do? Pops him up into foul territory. Salmeron dumps the mask, races after it, and he's got it for out number 3. So at least, the Güiristas were unable to respond. Top of the 5th, Davalos, 70 pitches over 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Will face De Castillo, Santiago, and Salmeron at a minimum. De Castillo's 1 for 2 with a ribby. On the 1-2 count. Davalos to De Castillo. He has struck out 3 batters in a row.
Whoa.
Fastball there. 5th pitch of the at-bat. And here he'll face Fidel Santiago, who's 0 for 1. 1 out, bases empty. A 1-2 count once again. Santiago, you'll remember, struck out last time. And he does so here as well. 4 strikeouts in a row for Gustavo Davalos, who is doing everything possible to earn his place on that mound tonight. And at 80 pitches, he'll face Salmeron. Can he do any better than the previous 2? Well, he went to a 2-2 count. We'll see what that means in a second. You have got to be kidding me. Gustavo Davalos strikes out the side, that last one, on a fastball looking, and Naguabo once again goes down in order. 5 strikeouts in a row for Gustavo Davalos, who had, going into this start, once again, he had started, let's see, this is his 18th start of the season. So he'd started 17 games, he had 67 strikeouts in those 18 starts, right? So that's... off the top of my head, I actually have no idea. I'm going to have to turn to a calculator here. But that's about 4 strikeouts a start. In this one game, he's up to 6.
Amazing.
So anyway. Bottom of the 5th, Stack, 4 innings, 61 pitches, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts. Faces Mejia, Alcantara, and Guía. Mejia is 2 for 2 off of him today, which is pretty incredible. And on a 1-2 count here, Mejia hits that one high and fairly deep, but De Castillo actually tracks it down this time, and he's got it. It's out number 1. Mauro Alcantara, 0 for 1 plus a sac hit on the day. That was a curveball that he hit into right field there. Alcantara put down a sac bunt last time. This time he strikes out for Stack's 3rd strikeout of the game, and then he'll face Tomás Guía, who is 0 for 2. Let's see if Stack can similarly shut down the Güiristas here. Bases empty and 2 outs, and Güiristas. Guía hits that one into left field. That one's going to bounce off the wall. Bukar's gathering it up. Let's see, can he hold him to a double there? Yes, he can. So now it'll be Ernesto Hernandez. It'll be Ernesto Hernandez, who has so far, after that Guía double, Hernandez is 1 for 2 plus a ribby. He scored a run. He's gotten to do whatever he wants so far in this game. So this is trouble. Man on second. The go-ahead run on second, no less, with 2 outs. Can Stack win this at-bat here? Full count. Payoff pitch. Hernandez bangs down with the Feaster. He's got it. Takes it himself to first base. Calls off the pitcher. Steps on the bag. And that is out number 3. The hit is all they'll get in that one. We're through 5 innings. This game remains tied at 4. It's officially a question of who will blink first, as both of these teams seem ready for the long haul. Gustavo Davalos in the top of the 6th, 85 pitches over 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts, and he'll face Wally Bach, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Bach walked in his previous at-bat. He's 0 for 1, and here he takes Davalos to a full count before drawing his 2nd walk of the game, the 4th for Davalos. That's something at least. That's a start. Here comes Shirley, who's 0 for 2 with a ribby on the day. He had that RBI fielder's choice a few innings ago, which now feel like an eternity removed from our present situation. Here goes nothing. Davalos on 91 pitches here on the 2-2 count. Shirley hits that one into left field, and it lands. That's going to put Bach on second.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. We have the makings of a rally here. 2 on with no outs. Can Benji Valdez keep the line moving? He's over 2 on the day. Davalos almost at 100 pitches. 2-1 count for Valdez, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Hits that one down the third baseline, and that lands. It's a little blooper past Moulds. That's gonna load the bases with no outs.
Man.
And as my friend Dustin, I don't know if you're watching, but this one's for you. Bases loaded and no outs. How will the Navegadores fail to score here? I'm trying to decide if this is worth even doing. Let's see. I need the split versus lefties, obviously. Let's see here. I mean, he's way more of a contact hitter against... Yeah, he's a better hitter against lefties. No point denying it. Kieran Anderson, who is 1 for 2, will be allowed to continue hitting for himself. Here goes nothing. Bases loaded and no outs. Here's just hoping he doesn't hit into a triple play. 1-2 count. Or that. Davalos gets his 7th strikeout with a fastball. I think they've all been on fastballs, too, which is kind of nuts. Oh, wait, no. Salmeron's was on curveball. And I should say, I was going to say that this is probably his season record, but actually he struck out 7 against Arroyo in his last start. But that was also a complete game, 9 innings. This is, again, he is 16 outs into this. Here comes Bukar, and now I'm really wondering whether we should substitute in Ham.
He's injured, though. He can't play.
He is. Minimal influence on hitting, minimal influence on running, so yeah. I mean, he can. He has played. He's just not 100%.
But will that set back his recovery?
It's a good question. Day-to-day injury, he should be okay with a little rest, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't replace... That's the thing. If I was going to replace one of these guys, I should have replaced Kim. Okay, let's see. We've got lefties coming up soon, so we'll have Pino in the pen just in case. And Bourgeois pitched yesterday, so we'll bring in... Let's see. No full righties anywhere. We'll go with Hancock, I think, for the next one. Anyway, Bukar, 0 for 2. Let's see. He hits a little bit better on the road. Will that be enough? Bases loaded and 1 out. 2-0 count. Bukar lines down to Mejia, who throws for home. That's out number 1. They're going to throw to first. And they get... Do they get the double play? No, he's safe at least.
Oh, man.
So, now it's bases loaded and 2 outs, and it's up to Rob Feaster to see if he can make anything happen here with 2 very fast runners.
Win you back, Rob.
He's 1 for 2 with 2 ribbies. Can he make it happen here? 0-2 count? I don't think so. Hits that one. It's a bouncer down the first baseline. Is he going to beat that throw? He does! It's an RBI single. Unbelievable. Rob Feaster, with his speed, beats the throw. Sherdlou scores, and Naguabo grabs the lead back here in the top of the 6th.
Wow, it's still not over.
As they like to say, speed kills, and here, just nobody knew what to do with that bouncer, and Rob made it in ahead of the throw, speeding right past it. As Sherdlou scored, forcing the infield to play fire drill defense there.
And it's still not over.
With 2 outs and the bases loaded, here comes Frank de Castillo. He's 1 for 3 with a ribby. He could sure put his team ahead here. Davalos looking quite a bit tired with his 110 pitches. Sure, he's got some strikeouts. Sure, he's got 4 walks, but if you can put the ball in play, you've got something against him. 1-0 count. De Castillo bounces down to Mejia, and methinks this inning is about to be over. And it sure is. Mejia with a good scoop throws overhand to first, and De Castillo is retired. Yes, they've got the lead back, but boy, that's a disappointing inning. 3 hits to get just 1 run out of bases loaded, no outs. Ham Underwood can't come back to the lineup soon enough. Everton Stack pitching the bottom of the 6th. He's got 5 innings, 79 pitches, 7 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. He faces Moulds, Magana, and Bautista. Moulds, of course, hit that RBI double last time he came up in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 with a ribby. 2-1 count. That music is oddly giving me hope. Oh, that's the first time it's ever played when something good happens for the batter.
ball went right through the pitcher's body.
Yes,
Phased
it
right
did.
through him.
Bob Moulds with a leadoff single, so he has clearly adapted his approach for Stack here. Here comes Magana, who's 1 for 2 with a ribby. Go ahead run on first with no outs. Magana, 2-0 count, goes for the bunt, takes it inside. It's a 3-0 count now, and it's a walk. 2-1 with no outs, and here comes Luis Bautista, who's 0 for 1. 2-1 count. Hits that one to Salmeron. He's got it, taking absolutely forever to get rid of that ball. And that's an infield hit to load the bases with no outs.
What the heck? Guys, how could you do this?
So, bases loaded with no outs, and somehow I doubt that they're going to have the same luck that Davalos and the rest did here. So here comes Brendan John, who's 1 for 2 with a ribby. 0-1 count. Sure enough, that gets entirely past Shirley. Bukar has to run it in. He'll take forever getting rid of that ball. That should score both runs. Does it? No! The game is simply tied. Moulds comes in to score. The bases remain loaded with no outs. Catulo Hernandez comes up. He's over 2 on the day. On the 1-2 count. A little breathing room for Stack there on the curveball. Got him swinging, and that's out number 1. Here comes Francisco Mejia, who's 2 for 3, and you just know Stack has to be terrified of this man. Or especially of what he apparently seems, the power he apparently seems to have over his infield. 0-1 count. Mejia bounces that one to Shirley. They throw to home, get him out, but no chance for the double play there. John goes to second, and the bases are now loaded with 2 outs for Mauro Alcantara. He has 1 hit in 6 at-bats with the bases loaded. He's brought in 4 runs. Let's see what happens here. Full count for him. Pops him up. And unbelievably, unless Salmeron drops this one, which he does not, the Navegadores will get out of that, allowing just 1 run, so I suppose the baseball gods giveth and the baseball gods taketh.
It's true.
All right, we are through 6 innings here.
Mm-hmm.
It is now time. It is now time for another word from our sponsors. Louisa, the booth is yours.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about the Artist Society Theater. The last benefit of the season. This is January 17th, 1871. So, a big event to open to the public for Tuesday, January 17th for the benefit of Doña Ana Huesma. And the program for the show: number 1, for the second time, the magnificent operetta buffa in 3 acts, book by Don Luis Rivera, music by the celebrated Jacques Offenbach, titled The Gods of Olympus. Number 2, we've heard the numerous demands from the people to hear Senor Kresge. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of notes in this one. Okay, sing the popular Malaguenas. This artist, always willing to fulfill the expectations of the capital's gallant public, will perform the wonderful lyric scene of the Spanish master, Don Sebastian Iradier, titled The Shops of Cardenas, which is composed of the following parts: A, the introduction; B, song in French; C, romanza italiana; D, Las Malaguenas; and E, La Jota Aragonesa. So you're getting all sorts of culture. You're getting French, Italian, Spanish, the song everyone's requesting apparently from Senor Kresge. So go check it out January 17th at 8 o'clock. Get some culture.
Malagueña, that name is very familiar for some reason. Is that like a jazz piece or something?
Huh.
That
if it was a popular song then, it might have hung around for a long time.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it would have been. Neither pitcher is interested in keeping the opposition off the bases.
True.
All right. There we go. Boom for one. Tell you what, Louisa, this is one of the things we haven't done in a while. Why don't we talk a little bit about it's June 22nd, 1906. Why don't we talk a little bit about how this day has been important in the history of the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña?
All right, I can tell you that on this day in 1893, Balmedero Barajas is 7th all-time in hits of the Caciques de Orocovis, ending a 20-game hitting streak.
Yeah, Baldomero Barajas, 2,500 hits, 1,000 runs scored. One of the... You almost wonder, because great player, also kind of how much of that is just because he was around forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
Yeah. Baldomero Barajas, part of the really important player core of those Orocovis teams in the 1880s and 1890s that won a ton of games. Very, very, very key part of that nucleus, I would say. And obviously alliterative name, which, we love. So.
Do we know how that stacks up to all-time hitting streaks? Like, is 20 games... Is it the most, or is it just really high up there, or
20 games is like the minimum to get noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 games don't... If your hitting streak doesn't reach 20, you don't even make the news. Outside of maybe, like, your fan base.
But he is 7th all-time in hits, so that's impressive.
Yeah, he was... Oh, boy. Baldomero must have been... Let's see here. He played from 1883 all the way to 1897, actually. He scored his 1,500th run in 1897 in August. So he's one of these guys that was just always around, hit very well every single season, and probably... Well, let's see. He was jugador. He was Ilustrísimo and Nobilísimo in 1883. That's MVP and Rookie of the Year. Finished second for MVP in 1884, finished third in 1885, finished second in 1886, and that's the end of his MVP votes. But on almost, if not for the existence of like 3 of his teammates, he probably does win one of those Ilustrísimos. So the only guys who were ahead of him were all on the same team as he was, is the thing.
Wow, okay. Huh.
And with a couple of exceptions, he was a fantastic performer in the postseason as well. So you couldn't even hold that against him. He could do everything. He could hit, he could throw. He was a pretty good center fielder for a while there. He eventually did fall off in the 1890s, and they kind of switched him to playing between left field and first base. So he could be a little bit better there, so they could keep his bat in the lineup because there were no designated hitters then.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Barajas, big time 19th century baseball guy, in terms of not a player that fans at the time would have loved him. He kind of fell away a little bit because he wasn't quite as showered with awards as some of the other guys on those teams like Peñuelas and Casanova.
But I bet if you're at a game in 1906 and you're chatting with people near you and you're able to say, I watched Barajas play, they would be impressed, right?
Probably, yeah. I would imagine.
Nice.
Especially because they also would have watched Barajas play. So.
Well, eventually it'll be very impressive, is what I'm getting at.
Yes. Top of the 7th, Dávalos, 112 pitches over 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Faces Vidal Santiago, who's over 2 on the day. Both of which have been strikeouts. He does have a walk, I believe, on the line. And here he hits a long, deep ball. That's going to be a fly ball out to center field there. Bautista will grab it. And that's out number 1. Salmeron comes up. He's 1 for 3. He's had a strikeout and a ground out on the line. Can he do anything here? Ooh. It's an 0-2 count, but I think, yes, indeed, Davalos gets his cutter, goes away, and hits Salmeron on the foot there. So he'll be on with one out. And obviously, Wally Balk, he walked last time. He's 0 for 1. Can he do anything here to get that go-ahead run any closer to home plate? He's walked twice, and on the 1-2 count here, he strikes out. Chases a sinker that hits the dirt. Davalos has his 8th strikeout of the night, which is the most he's had all season. With 2 outs and a man on first, we're going to go back to what works here. We're going to have Hancock warming... Oh, he's still not happy with how much we're warming him up. That's sad. We're going to have Varela in there to join him, and Sherdloo comes up as the last chance. He's 1 for 3 with a ribby on the day. The ironic part being that the hit and the run batted in did not come on the same play. On the 1-2 count, he hits that one to Mejia, and here we go again. The Navegadores, another inning over with basically nothing going as the Güiristas audience stretches. And Everton Stack at 105 pitches over 6 innings. He's allowed 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Faces Guía, Hernandez, and Moulds. Guía is 1 for 3 on the day. He doubled back in the 5th. Let's see if Stack can bottle them up a little bit better. Guía pops up into foul territory. Feaster this time takes charge and grabs it. And it's out number 1. Here comes Ernesto Hernandez, who's 1 for 3 with a ribby. Bats his eyelashes suggestively, as rain starts to fall here. And Stack doesn't look to be trying to make it easy on himself as he walks Hernandez on a splitter inside. That's his 2nd walk of the day. Here comes Bob Moulds, who's 2 for 3 with a ribby. 2-2 count. And he got him.
Nice.
Glad I trusted my pitcher there. Stack gets his 5th strikeout of the night. Once again, he walked in here with 136 strikeouts, and he's got 3 fewer strikeouts than Davalos. 2 outs and a man on first, and it's Joaquin Magaña up to bat. He's 1 for 2 with a ribby on the day, on the 1-0 count. Hernandez tries to steal, and this time he will get caught by a mile. Salmeron is able to peg him right there. He is 13 for 19 on catching base stealers. His first in a while in this game, and we're through 7. The game remains tied at 5. And since it looks very likely that we'll only be able to do this one game, Luisa, is there anything else important that happened on June 22nd in the history of the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña?
Well, interestingly enough, we just talked about 1893. The very next year, June 22nd, 1894, Troilo Andino of the Picudos de Ceiba ends a 20-game hitting streak. So he did the same thing.
He sure
He's not
did.
7th all-time in hits, so I don't know where he ranks in history, but it's pretty impressive.
Oh, I'll tell you where he ranks in history. If I need to check and make sure that this is still true. But Troilo Andino, as far as I know, is still playing.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
He is, in fact, he is currently not doing very well. He is 36 years old. He's playing for Cataño these days for the Guardacostas. And, well, so you know those statistics I really like, that where 100 is an average hitter, higher is better, lower is worse?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a -7.
Oh, boy.
That's not really supposed to be possible. You have to be abysmal
Wow.
for that to happen.
Well, you know what? He'll always have the summer of 1894, won't he?
He will. And I got to tell you, he's a very interesting success story for this league because he actually got his start in professional baseball in Canada.
Oh, wow.
He signed with the Pickering Bonebreakers in 1892. Where
is he from? Did you say? Is he from Puerto Rico?
Yeah, he is,
okay.
I believe, the first Puerto Rican player. I don't know if he's the first Puerto Rican player to play in Canada. I think he's the first successful Puerto Rican player in Canada.
Wow, okay.
And he's certainly the first Puerto Rican player to then come back to Puerto Rico, sign with a Puerto Rican team. So
And really do a great job, apparently.
yeah, so he played very well over there. He was ranked as high as actually number 16 prospect. He
Wow.
played a full year with Pickering in the Ontario part of the league, where he did ridiculously well, really. He was ninth in wins above replacement. He was pretty amazing, really. And then he comes to Puerto Rico, plays 1894 to 1897 with the Picudos, where he's also very good. 16 home runs that same year, 1894, which is something like third in those years for a season. Let me
Mhm.
see. 23, 21. Then a bunch of people are tied for third with 20. Then you've got tied for fourth with 19. He's tied for something like six in terms of single season homers. So yeah,
Wow.
pretty amazing. And he continued to be pretty good. Then in 1901, he did okay that first year. His power started to kind of wane a little bit. And he was traded to Cataño for Telegono Tello, who these days is pitching in Canada, apparently,
Huh. Interesting.
for
That's a
Moncton.
real amazing life story for this guy. Going so far to play baseball and coming home to play baseball.
Exactly. And maybe having learned, some uh, bucheron
Mm.
batting that made him able to hit those homers. But for some reason, it just didn't
Mhm.
last for him. Wonder what
You
happened
know what I
there.
think it is?
Mm-hmm.
Pancakes. I think that's the secret.
Yes, there you go.
Eating flapjacks.
I wonder, now I'm wondering if, you know how in the Puerto Rico that we live in, there's obviously a lot of American style restaurants. I'm
Mhm.
wondering if in this reality, if in an LP verse, there's a bunch of Canadian style restaurants, and you're getting
Oh, that would
like
be fun.
places serving poutine in Puerto Rico.
Oh my god, that would be so good. You know what though? You know what? Some
Tostones?
poutine. Some poutine with, yeah, tostones and some pernil on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be incredible. Mm.
Yes. All right, top of the eighth, Davalos against Valdez. Davalos has so far kept Valdez, as you say, grimacing. He's only 1 for 3 today, but Davalos is through 7 innings on 126 pitches, 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. Season record for him so far. Nope, that is not the person we wanted there. How's Hancock doing? Okay, he's just ready right now. All right, Valdez, let's see. Can he get on here? He singled back in the sixth, and here on the 1-2 count, what does he do? He bounces that one down the third baseline. Moulds drops it again.
Oh man, on molds.
He boots it. That's the second error for Peñuelas, both of them by him. And
The
that puts
crowd hates him.
Valdez on base. Here comes Kieran Anderson. And here's what I'm wondering. No, no, I'm not wondering that. This is a contact hitting league. We do not need the destructive power of a Minsu Kim here yet. Man on first with no outs. Kieran Anderson, 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch. And Valdez takes off for second. Not even going to try. Hernandez can't make it happen. And he'll be in scoring position. That's Valdez's 36th steal of the season here. Anderson, 1-0 count. And now on the 2-2 count. The ballet count, you might say. Forces that one past the infield, and Valdez will make it to third. What do you think here? Do we run him?
I think so. You gotta really be bold in this game, it seems.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're going to challenge Bautista here. He's going to have to make that throw. And Valdez beats it!
Ooh!
RBI single by Kieran Anderson. What a hero, the rookie and holder of the Scottish seat. Bats in the run, and Naguabo leads Peñuelas 6-5 here in the top of the eighth.
Amazing.
By the way, Will also said to send him, but I didn't see that before I said to.
We love a guy running for home. What's
We
better
sure
than
do.
that?
Guys being dudes.
That's right.
Here comes Felix Bucar, who is 0 for 3. And yet again, I am tempted to put Ham Underwood in here. But I'm not going to. I will resist. He is 0 for 3. Man on first with no outs.
I feel very
Full
protective
count.
of him. Every time you say that, I'm like, no, don't you dare put him in.
Bucar manages a
Ugh.
quality at bat, but goes down swinging on that fastball. 9th strikeout for Gustavo Davalos, who is so tired right now.
Incredible.
With one
He's
out,
gonna fall down.
probably, yeah. Here comes
Like The Sims, he's just gonna fall on the ground and go to sleep.
Yes. his mood meter, his plumb bob is all the way red.
Yeah. He's stamping his feet in anger. He's throwing his hands up. He's yelling about squiggles.
Yes.
He's so angry.
Rob Feaster, 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. Can he get the better of Davalos in this matchup? I'm also tempted to put in a pinch runner for Kieran Anderson, because then I can just... He's. It's not like he's fielding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could put in Ted.
Is it? I don't know. I'm nervous. Is it a good idea?
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
We're gonna hit this button on the soda fountain.
Okay.
Now running for Kieran Anderson at first base, number 2, Ted Balloon. I have a feeling that I just ensured a very ill-advised steal, but we'll see what happens. First pitch. And that's exactly how it went down. Ted tries for second, gets thrown out, and that's out number 2. All right, Varela and Hancock will be back in the pen as Feaster will try to extend this inning somewhat. He's got a 2-2 count. I'm liking this ballet count thing. I'm going to try to make that a bit. As he grounds out to short, and I'm guessing that is an actual out, though I didn't see it. Then Naguabo 8th is over. Now we got to let us get a run and pull ahead, and Stack is going to face Magana, Bautista, and John. Magana is 1 for 2 with a ribby. We're going to let Stack, he's 122 pitches over 7 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. We're going to see if he can work his way out of this one, but Varela and Hancock are standing by.
Okay.
Magana has a single, a walk, a run batted in. He's just doing everything. Balk has that one. He throws across the hallway, and that's out number 1. Here comes Luis Bautista, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Can Stack get him out? Bautista's going to take him to a full count. He had a single last time he came up in the 6th. And Everton Stack nails him with a... Oh, no, no, you didn't. He struck out on a sinker and yelled at the umpire about it.
Oh, come on. You can't do that.
By the way, this is the pitch he struck out on. It's in the zone.
Jeez. He's just losing it.
So he got ejected, by the way.
Wow. All right.
So it'll be Roberto Nunez pinch hitting for... Wish I could remember who that was just a second ago. Do these people, have they cornered the market on switch hitters? What is going on? Oh, Brendan John. Now pinch hitting for Brendan John, number 37, Roberto Nunez, who is, doing fine. OPS of 506, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. 2 outs and the base is empty. Let's see if he can do anything against Stack. He is hitting quite well as a pinch hitter, 5 for 17. That's a big fly out to left field. Santiago puts up the glove, and he's got it. It's out number 3. We're through 8 innings. Nothing across for Peñuelas, and the Navegadores remain in front. And before we, fingers very crossed, finish this game out, can we get one last look into the past? What else happened on June 22nd in the history of the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña?
Well, in 1897, which is almost 10 years ago, Hernando Cabrera of the Reyes de Buenadias collects his 2000th hit. Now, Dro, I know this is your team, the Reyes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this guy? Do you like this guy?
I am extremely familiar with Hernando Cabrera, and unfortunately, he is never going to make it to 3,000 hits.
Oh, no!
Hernando Cabrera is currently... Let me see if I can actually pull him up here.
I would have to assume a player must have a long tenure to even get to 2,000. So he must have been around a while.
Yes, that is true. Cabrera is still playing, to be clear.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The problem is that he is 41 years old and not very good anymore. Remember that metric we talked about where Troilo Andino was -7?
Yes.
Hernando Cabrera is -21.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah. How close is he to 3,000?
Well, let's see. He ended the 19th century
Uh-huh.
with, let's see here. He ended the 19th century with 2,122 hits.
Ooh, okay, so he was slowing down, because that's 3 years from his 2000. Okay.
Wait, what? Oh,
He
remember,
ended the...
there was no baseball in 98,
Oh, of
99, or
course.
1900. Now, in the 20th century, right, he has
Yes.
732 hits. So he's at 2854.
Oh, that's so close. I can see why they might leave him in, even though he's playing badly, just because maybe he could get there. You
Yeah, but
know?
the thing is, they're not playing him very often. So
Uh,
he has played in 15 games. He's only gotten 8 at bats, which means that which means that he's mostly been used in defense. And in all of those, he has collected 1 hit.
ugh, it's a shame.
So, barring like a really big campaign, I don't think he's announced his retirement yet. I might be wrong about that. But barring like a real resurgence, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Ugh, a
Which is
shame.
really unfortunate because I think he's the only Rey that would be likely to do that. I
Mhm.
want to check here, but as far as I know, I don't think any of the other guys was even close. Let's see. Peñalosa was a cacique, Ramirez was a murciélago, Lozada was a corso, Radames Martinez was a Señor de Ponce.
Boo!
Pardon me. Momentarily possessed by an intra-division demon. Aldo Dominguez was a Metropolitano, Hilario, and sorry, I already passed all the 3,000 guys.
Okay, well,
Hilario, yeah,
at least he can say, at least Cabrera can say that he has done more than 2,500 hits in his
that
career.
is true. Only, let's see. Now, obviously, this is not accounting for combined between 19th and 20th century, but
Mhm.
something like only 17 guys have managed over 2,500 in the 19th century. For
Wow.
the record, for those of you who are longtime heads, Victor Nieves, 2,245.
Ah, so
He
great.
is one of only 3 guys on this list above him. There are only 2 other guys who started in 1871. Elisa Raraz, who was a catcher until 1892, because he was, I think, significantly younger.
Uh-huh.
And the other is Jose Figueroa, who played for the Mulos from 1871 to 1887. Now, he was just an incredible player, but he also, like, remained a viable player well into his late 30s in a way that Victor Nieves, his fielding ability really went. And so
Mm.
he had to be relegated to playing backup in first
Ah,
base and
okay.
right field, whereas this guy was still capable of playing like a serviceable infield when he was 38.
Yeah.
All right, top of the ninth, Davalos, 148 pitches over 8 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. Faces Frank de Castillo, who's 1 for 4 with a ribby. The Naves here are looking to strike while the iron is hot, or in this case, while the iron is tired. What they need more than anything is insurance runs. If they can get Davalos to give up at least one more, give them a 2 run cushion, then they've got something going. Otherwise, they are in trouble. So it's De Castillo's job. Get on base by any means necessary.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be 6-5 at the end of the game.
I think you're going to be right. 2-2 count. De Castillo lances that one into right field, and hey, he makes it.
Oh, nice.
Little jam shot over there into short right. He'll be on base to start, and here comes Vidal Santiago, who, other than a walk, has been completely unable to make it to base today. Salmeron is going to be clowning on him for that one. I'll tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
1-1 count. He hits that one past the infield. It gets through the shortstop's legs, and the new center fielder out there, Livio Rivera, has to go get it. Livio Rivera, by the way, number 15, now in center field. Now in left field, number 4, Eliodoro Ortiz. Gift of the sun, Eliodoro, by the way. Here
That's
comes
very good.
here comes Pablo Salmeron, who's 1 for 3. He's hitting just a little bit better on the road, and 5 of his home runs have been on the road. Let's see if home run number 6 is today, with 2 on and no outs.
It's funny you say that, but Theodoro, I would have thought it was like Golden Sun, but it's not that.
No. That umpire is bought. I don't know if you
Oh
heard that,
man.
but the umpire said safe before he even made it to the base.
Uh,
Let's see here as Frank de Castillo steals third. Yeah, that ball makes it there clearly ahead of him. What is going on?
it seems weird in this stadium that they would favor the Naves.
Yeah. There is a study showing that apparently soccer referees at the very least are genuinely influenced by the home fans yelling at them. So that
Uh-huh.
if you're a fan, if you're a soccer fan, it is in fact your moral duty to abuse the refs because apparently that makes them rule in favor of your team more.
That is not good information for soccer fans to have.
No, no, it is not. I don't think it's been widely publicized exactly for that reason. All right, runners on the corners with no outs as Pablo Salmeron steps up. He's 1 for 3. One pitch later, 1-1 count. Hits that one down the left field line. That is going to land. De Castillo knew it all the way. He runs in, and it's 7-5. As the
Oh man.
Navegadores have 2 on with no outs. Santiago makes it to second base. Pablo Salmeron with his 37th run batted in of the season, definitively leading the ball club there as he takes that sinker and punches it through. Probably thought that was going to be foul, but De Castillo read the curve on it all right and scampered home. It's an RBI
Well, they
single.
proved me wrong.
And the Navis are ahead now, 2 runs. Here comes Wally Balk, who's 0 for 2. Can he do anything here to put this game to bed? 0-2 count, and Balk gets plunked.
Oh my god, it looked like he totally did that on purpose.
Sure, it might have. Wally Balk has been plunked before in revenge for runs happening. So here comes number 26, Raul Cueva, also a lefty. He has pitched 5 2/3 innings on the year, allowed 4 hits, 2 walks, and 1 run, but no earned runs yet. Cueva has a fastball, slider, sinker, and cutter, and I'm betting that the coaches think that mixing in that breaking ball is going to be really nasty for these lefties to face. Even though normally a slider has platoon splits, you don't want to throw it to an, that slider actually, it makes perfect sense because you're adding that to an arsenal that has, for the most part, worked against lefties. And a slider should be favored lefty on lefty. Here goes nothing. Shirley 1 for 4 with a ribby. Bases loaded and no outs. And on the 2-1 count, what's going to happen here? Shirley hits that one to Mejia, who drops it. It's an error, and that will score another run. It's 8-5 now. Third
Whoa.
error of the game. First non-Moulds error of the game. Salmeron to third, Bach to second. Santiago scores, and Shirley will make first. Easy play there. Not really very explainable what happened. And would love to see the replay. There we go. Took you long enough. Mejia just muffs that one. I guess the baseball gods really, he must have really lost their favor. As here comes Benji Valdez, who's 1 for 4 on the day. No outs. Base is still loaded. Hits that one through. That gets past the infield. Another run will score.
Wow.
It'll be 9-5 now. As the bases are... Oh! And the ball gets past Eliodoro Ortiz over there. He might have the gift of the sun, but not the gift of good hands. As the Navegadores score 2 runs on that one. Benji Valdez ends up at second base. Salmeron and Bach score, and it's 10-5 now.
Wow. I did not expect this in a million years.
A 6-star difficulty play there, and unfortunately, Eliodoro Ortiz is unable to make that happen. 2 runs batted in for Benji Valdez. And the Navegadores put up a 4 spot here in the top of the 9th. Ted Balloon comes up, and at this point, we're just going to let him cook, honestly. 2 on, no outs, whatever. 2-2 count. Yeah, who even cares? He struck out looking. A cutter. Who gives a damn? Here comes Felix Bucar. 0 for 4, 1 out, and 2 on still. 1-1 count. He struck out last time. This time he rolls 1 out to the infield, and he jogs nicely to make it to first base. Doesn't quite do it, and that is out number 2. Here comes Rob Feaster, who's 2 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. Can he bring in either of these 2 runs? That's the question. 14 pitches so far for Cueva here. 2 on and 2 outs. I don't think so. 0-2 count. Gets way under that pitch and pops it up. So unless somebody feels like dropping a ball here, and Magaña did not, that's going to end the top of the 9th. Naguabo scores 4 times, takes a 5-run lead here, and we're going to let Stacks start this inning. We'll have Anbar and Varela ready to go if things get troublesome. Catulo Hernandez, Francisco Mejia, and Mauro Alcantara currently represent the last 3 chances for their ball club against Stack, who is on 134 pitches over 8 innings, having allowed 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Catulo Hernandez is 0 for 3 on the day. What do you think? Do you think they win this?
I do. It's making me nervous. It's not over yet, but I do think they win it.
Do you think they win it 10-5?
I think they do. I know I'm in no position to make predictions after I was just so wrong, but I do think it's 10-5.
Let's find out. I'm going to say 10-6.
Okay.
Catulo Hernandez, full count, payoff pitch. He hits that one to Benji. Benji makes the run. Can he get him in time at first? And he can. That's out number 1. Here comes Mejia, 2 for 4. He, of course, had that error in the previous inning that came back to haunt them. He grounded out to his opposite number last time he came up. This time he hits that one into right field, and it's a 3-hit night for Francisco Mejia as De Castillo has to cut that one off. 11th hit of the game for Peñuelas here. Boy, this game has been, on offense, has been incredible. 23 hits, 15 runs, 5 errors. Here comes Mauro Alcantara, who's over 3 on the day with a man on and 1 out. He popped up last time, and this time he hits one through the infield. That's going to put 2 on as Frank De Castillo takes quite a while getting rid of that ball, but that's okay as they only advance to 1 base. And that's enough. Now pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 41, Hector Varela. 10 innings pitched, a win and a loss, 7 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, an ERA of 0.90. Varela is one of our favorite types of pitchers, slider, sinker, soldier, spy. He will face pinch hitter, by the way, number 54, Cayetano Jara, who once upon a time was supposed to be the future of Peñuelas, and let's just say he's really suffering through his 30s.
No, that's a shame.
He does not look well. Just last year, get this, he batted under 200. His on-base percentage was .334. So he had, let me check this out, but he had 99 hits. He had 112 walks. He had more walks than hits.
Wow, so he's just got a real good eye for where the ball is?
Yeah, but unfortunately he also had 140 strikeouts. So
Oh, so not that good of an eye.
Not that good of an eye. All right, here we go. 2 on and 1 out. This is an interesting spot to put him in. I actually like this choice by the coaches here. On the 3-1 count, Varela. Jara grounds out to third base. Balk goes to second for 1. I don't think they can go to first, so that's a fielder's choice. Jara reaches on that. Mejia makes it to third. And here comes Ernesto Hernandez, who is 1 for 3 on the day with a ribby. Can Varela end the game here? He's at 5 pitches on the day.
Oh, man.
1-2 count. Hernandez has singled. He's walked. He's scored twice. And here, he grounds out right back to Varela. Varela scoops it, grabs it, pumps and throws to first base. And that is your ball game tonight. Naguabo defeats Peñuelas by, in fact, the score of 10-5. The outfielders come in, and you can see there the victory formation beginning as all the guys off the bench, including Min-Soo Kim, and come out to get their high fives.
Just to high five everybody.
Yeah, that's what you do at the end of the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying I hope Ham's there.
He is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I saw a couple of the numbers of guys who are also resting, so I'm sure he's there.
Nice.
The Navegadores have now won 6 in a row. Rob Feaster went 2 for 5 with a double and a walk. He drove in 3 runs. He scored once, and Everton Stack uh, did his best. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Feaster wins player of the game for that batting line. Everton Stack, of course, 8 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 5 runs, 3 of which were earned, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Gustavo Davalos takes his 7th loss of the season. 8 innings pitched, 11 hits, 10 runs, 5 of which were earned, 4 walks and 9 strikeouts over 162 pitches. Even for this era, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
otherwise, we've got heroes all up and down this lineup. De Castillo scoring 2 runs and a daring steal of third there that apparently was achieved via bribing the umpires, question mark. Benji Valdez with that 2 run single stretched into a double. Pablo Salmeron had his 2 hits as well. And then, of course, you've got Wally Balk with his 2 balk walks. And who can forget Kieran Anderson with a run scoring single that put the Navegadores on top 6-5 for the final time. Great game. I think we can all be excited about how things are going for this ball club. And yeah, just very happy with how things went here. Any final thoughts, Louisa?
In this game, I was really impressed by how often the Naves were able to get the ball where the infielders, or especially outfielders, weren't. Either along the foul lines, both foul lines, or just right into places that no one was available to catch. That was really impressive. You don't see that from them a whole lot.
No, you don't, especially not on the road. And I think that having the short lines down left and right maybe confused them at first, but once they figured out, hey, if I can put it down this line, they're not going to be guarding that. I
Yeah.
think that was really the key. That's where the runs started coming in once they figured that out. So, exciting game. They play again tomorrow in game time, of course. And I'll try to record that game because that's a Ted game and we haven't seen him in a while. But next week we will hopefully be back with Zizi Pluff. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And the Napoleonicos de Yauco. I have to design their uniform, of course. So that we can finally get our last special prospect some playing time. He's been pitching and short stopping for them, and he has a hilarious stat line that we'll get to talk about next week. But until then, this has been, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.